Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nothing's Wrong podcast.
Hello everybody.
And as you can see, we have a special guest today. Lord Enki is on the live with us. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for showing us love.
No doubt. It's nice to meet everybody. Beautiful stage. Nice. Everything is set. Beautiful. It's about the message. So
Exactly. It is about the message. And we're so glad that you're here so we could put that message out there, especially for people who are not aware about holistic like medicine, people who are just not really on this journey. So you are definitely someone that is very familiar on how to definitely get their health together. And can you let us know a little bit about yourself for those who are not familiar?
Okay, well, my name, they call me Lord Enki, and pretty much I got my own YouTube channel. I've been on Facebook for a while. Like from 2014, 2015, I had an awakening, some very spiritual awakening that opened me up to another world and also to ancestors. With the ancestors, I started meeting spirits. Spirits started teaching me different things. Next thing you know, I'm flying over my yard and garden and they're showing me different trees, different plants, how to mix them together. So me, I'm from the Bronx. I don't know nothing about that stuff. I'm in Jamaica now, and it's showing me all this stuff. So I started doing what it says, started putting these trees together. When I looked it up on Google, they was medicine, not just regular medicine though. This is medicinal herbs that actually heal the immune system, which is what we need. This was more like snake bite medicine. So I accumulated a lot of trees, started making different extracts, giving it out in my neighborhood, and I healed from fibroid, thyroid. I even did cancer, prostate cancer, where I made the swelling go down. And he came with his cancer measurement test, which was a 4. And we made him stop taking the medicinal drugs, which I'm not recommending because herbs is there to complement it. You put those two together, you don't have no side effects. So he went hardcore and just took the extracts that I had made for him. And when he went back to do his cancer management, it went from a 4 to a 0.30, which put it in remission. So from there, I started sending it all over the United States and actually do online helping, giving everybody like one-on-one, find out the condition, what's wrong with them, and then recommend what's best for them. So I got into naturopathy science, which is like a natural herbal healing, using this nature, our epigenetics, which is really mental, your mind, because a lot of us, we in a lot of anxiety, and this anxiety leads to autoimmune disease. And if you don't know how to balance between the mind and the body, you have this association that have us all with anxiety, depression. So it's ways now we could alleviate that. And ever since, that's been my mission. So that's what Lord Enki is really about, spirituality and actually healing with the herbs. In my Facebook, they know me as like a shaman, that I help the community, So that's how we could start. If you want to know what Enki is about, that's really what I'm about,
Okay. All right.
That's amazing. Because, I mean, I couldn't have described it better than you.
Right.
Because I come across your work on YouTube, and that's how I even heard about you, and she heard about you. It's like, and then I believe you were like speaking about like your astral travel. No, it was astral traveling and like crystals, because you were doing crystals at the time. Are you still making crystals?
Okay. Yeah. Are you?
Yeah. The whole journey is really about us. My channel focuses on actually women people that we think our soul and our spirit is with us, and it doesn't work like that, because I grew up in the Bronx, like I said, did everything everybody else did, you know, the good and the bad. But when I left that now and went on nature, something else happened. And at first it spooked me out. I'm thinking I'm being possessed by some spirit, somebody did some witchcraft or obeah on me. But in reality, I got my soul. With it came the ability to astral project. I do Reiki. I could actually send energy that you could feel my touches below you. I go into people's house and I could look around and see what they're doing all from my head. I used to do like the forensic stuff to see what happened at a given time if you just give me the projector and the image. So learning all that stuff, that's when I got into the most important first to know for holistic healing, which is God. You see, if you don't have God in the situation, you wouldn't know your point of reference in this reality. Anybody can sway you, especially if you say you're human, which is just a term meaning I'll go along anything. So if another human makes something, we consume. If you know you're a God and you're a God body, you know only certain things in our reality come from God. And so you will watch what you eat, and you will be aware of that is being put on us as far as GMO food and these things that we are seeing, that we're conscious of it, but we don't know the effect it takes out on our body without pharmaceuticals going. We have to have medical insurance. This is all like a monopoly and a cycle that we live in that we're unaware of. We just party in it. So with finding your God, knowing God will be simple as like saying your outfit you're wearing. Somebody thought of it, and then you got it on. The couch sitting on. Somebody thought of it. The area you're in. Every piece of material on the ceiling, the walls, and the floor. Somebody.
Yeah, you are correct. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And they created us while we manifest this world. This is a mind we live in. So when you realize that, take away everything man-made, and you will only have trees, rocks, air, and water. So now, whose mind created that? Because we already came to a little quick understanding that whatever is here and you got here, somebody made it. It wasn't a human being. Who was it? So with that, then you learn the philosophy of God, that somebody else created those things man can't create. But it's still from somebody else's mind, just not man's mind. So with that, the body is the same way. And once you realize that only those things that
I think the audio.
that's here from there could go and take you away from drain away from eating potato chips, soda, eat tree. But we eat these things that we think is real or it's going to sustain us. But in reality,
hey, Enki, I'm so sorry. You are you're telling us so much goodness, but the audio, something's happening right now. We can't really hear you too well. Hey, can you hear us? We were just saying that your audio was going. Your audio is going in and out.
Okay, I tone it down so you can hear me better.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna get some headphones.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna switch phones. Maybe if I switch phones, is it possible you could entertain them for a second while I call?
Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yeah,
we can hear you, but definitely.
If you think another phone is better, then that's fine.
I was gonna.
I think we're just on a.
Yeah. We're just like on a little delay with.
So give me 3 minutes to switch phones. I'll call you back. Okay.
Yeah, all right. On the same link is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me call you back from a different phone.
Okay. Sounds good. Like I said, he was spitting pure knowledge, pure I just, you know,
Insight.
yes, insight. I'm like an East Coaster. We have a lot of like different terms and words,
Right.
so bear with me. Yes, a lot of definitely insight. Go ahead,
Yeah.
say your pieces about.
No, I mean, I'm so happy that he came out
Yeah.
with all the knowledge and all that, you know, he's going to teach us tonight. So
Yeah,
definitely tonight is a learning experience.
definitely.
I've been getting into herbal medicine and just it's so incredible what natural medicine, herbals, medicine, herbs from the ground,
Right.
from the trees, the actual plants
Right.
can do to your body.
Right.
And that's amazing. So that's why we wanted to have him on so we can get educated. And because, you know, we're in the middle of a health crisis right now. So
Right.
why not really learn what you need to learn?
Exactly.
And do what you need to do. You know, people are really out here losing their lives.
Yeah.
You know, choose health.
Choose
health first.
And if anything, if you can help yourself, that's the best way to go, is by doing something that is less harmful than your typical medicine, and using something that comes from nature and seeing how it works as well, giving that a shot. Like, that's why we have a professional who is very aware of each stage in the that part of life. So definitely, like I said, if you guys have questions about anything that regards to health, please do us a favor, because he left and I know how you guys get when you don't want to speak. Tonight, please ask some questions, because this is for your health. Like, if you have a real question, exactly. And they're so quiet. Like, speak up, please. Do us a favor tonight and come on through, ask some real questions. It doesn't matter what it is. No question is dumb. It regards to your life. So if you have something that you want to, you know, you're aware of, or you're not quite sure of what something is, put that down below and, you know, be involved tonight, because it's important. America needs this. You need this. And so if we can help on a natural way, this is the best way for right now. I would say to at least give it a shot. Even if you don't agree with the person, ask a question on, well, I don't think, or whatever you have in your mind, just ask it so that it could be, you know, someone can respond to it, and someone who is actually an expert. So
right. Somebody who did the homework for you, who made you be able to take the shortcut, because I don't know if he's explained this to you guys, but he's off grid. He's in Jamaica. He's been there for a couple of years and just been living a whole completely different life than one in the city. I mean, being in New York, that's a whole life in itself. It's like a bubble. Right. And then you go into Jamaica and that's like another thing. So yeah, it's good when you get away. Exactly. Because then you realize who you are. And like he said, he unlocked so many parts of himself.
He's back. All right, let's
get him in here.
Okay, like I said, ask the questions and don't play around, all right? Hi.
All right.
Did you hear us?
Let's do this. I hear y'all clear now. Yeah,
okay,
definitely.
we hear you clear too.
Definitely.
I don't know if you remember where you left off, but you can start off fresh, be you. Definitely keep going. You were really on a good track. So I want to, go ahead.
Okay, well, let's keep it going then. We was really discussing, let me see, where was I at? The body and how we've been misled on how to take care of it, which was really, you know, the mission I was saying with the God body. Once we realized that actually only organic substances could go on the body, and when you take away the man-made things, only natural things is here. That's what we first realized. Oh, I'm a God, or I have a God body. Now, the reason we use the term that you're a God is because if you're a human being and you make kids, your kids become human beings too, right? Now, spiritually, because I'm a spiritualist, we're made by God, so we're gods too. Simple, just like that. You understand? We're quick to, how you say, we give ourselves a lower level in life. We hold ourselves back. We we don't put as much as we would into ourselves. That's why we fall short every time. If you see yourself as a God, you act as a God, you respond as a God, conduct yourself as a God, you will be the representation of what you're supposed to be. But you know, us, we go through emotional issues which lead into eating disorders, you know, and these emotional issues stem to psychological disorders because of the simple fact a lot of people want company. A lot of people hate to be by themselves. And when they don't fit in or things don't go their way, they eat themselves to be in disease or sickness. So that's the importance of first, you know, the God philosophy, the God body. But now let's look at how it's playing out in our reality right now. You look at supermarkets, and then we have different parts to it because you have the middle class, the lower class. Those two are very important because it's not the same foods in the supermarket that's in the ghetto urban areas, that's in the middle class suburbs. So once you realize the food is different, you have to look at the quality of the food. So when we get our cereal, especially, you know, urban mothers that they really into the box cereal, your cornflakes, your fruity pebbles, all these things. It's I'm not gonna attack the food itself. The fact that it's fortified, when you're talking of fortified or enhanced with something, you're talking now a vitamin that's not real to the body. And the process of fortification is
Our
when they
sound is
take
messing
these.
up. Do you want to come back in again? Just click the, like, turn off this one and do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
It's not
Okay.
Sorry.
We are going through this.
Yeah, I'm learning. That's the thing. I'm learning as well while we speak. So that's the best part. I get to like get clarity, especially in health. Like that's the exciting part. And I love the way that he used, like, you know, showing us what it is from different places. Like the supermarkets aren't the same. You know, you go to the more expensive supermarket and their fruits are more fresh. They're, you know, you can see the difference. Even the store is more clean.
With everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, there's a difference from going to Gelson's to going to just the Ralph's.
Right.
Or, you know, one of the Mexican stores.
Right.
There's
even
a difference
even in the
all
food, like you go
stores, the
see the
quality.
meat. Yeah. The seafood looks like it's old, and the like you go to the other store, it's looking like it's fresh.
Right.
So yeah.
So let's hear if you're clear.
Oh, perfect.
Now you're a little low. Sorry.
It's fine.
I could talk a little louder. I don't mind talking
you're
louder.
great. You're good.
All right. We can hear you.
Good.
This is great.
Perfect. So we were speaking about you saying, like, in the supermarkets, it's like different quality food in the neighborhoods. And we were just saying, like, we've even noticed that too. Like in each store or type of store, there are different qualities of food in neighborhoods. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very important for us to understand because, like, let's go to the body for a quick second, which is going to help to understand the quality of the food. You see, the body runs not off of food, it runs off of vitamins and minerals. So a lot of the time we think that we're actually feeding ourselves with these big plates of food, and actually we're not really conscious of what vitamins is in the plate of food. But if you know first, you know, we have to have the body in what's called homeostasis. Homeostasis is when your vitamin levels, your A, B, C, D, B12, all these start being in sync. It makes your body have a good cardiovascular level. Your cells, you have little atoms, let's say, all of them communicate with each other. Certain things allow that to communicate, such as your fish oil, your vitamin A, and your vitamin C. So let's say you're deficient in one of these things because you have conditions that run out. Once this runs out, you get a condition where you get arthritis or you can't move certain parts of your elbow and hands because the cellular communication is cut offline. Not too many people know that if all these little pores and holes is not communicating between each other, you get what's called CVD or cardiovascular disease. It's the start of it. So just being deficient in a vitamin leads to not just on the cellular level issue. Eventually, it's going to go inside your body now. You have what's called your detoxification system. You know, you have your lungs, your liver, your kidney. These are responsible for producing antioxidants. These antioxidants is what keep toxicity out of your body because it's in the air and the environment. So once that, the vitamins that keep the enzymes running, look at it like the vitamins is the enzyme highway. They connect one organ to the other. You get one cut, that organ cannot produce the substance it needs for the body to run efficiently. So you get these things called vitamin deficiency going on, especially in the urban areas. You see, this is where you get diseases. Like if you see you always catching a cold, maybe 3-4 times a year, if you see yourself always, around little kids that get the little runny nose and you catch it, you're deficient in vitamin C. And so if you have good vitamin C level, you could be around a child with have a cold. The change of the seasons is not going to affect you. But these are the simple signs and warnings that these things is going to turn into bigger problems. But now, if we wasn't taught what vitamins and minerals, or let's say how the car run underneath the hood, what does it take to make your body work right? If you knew exactly that, you would differentiate between the good tasting food and the must-have food. You understand what I'm saying? So once you get now an idea of this do exist and it has a very, very influence over your body and your reality, you differentiate between the two now. So just to give you an example, you have cells. This is the beginning of your body. Let's say you was one cell. You start off. This one cell has a proton and a neutron spinning around, the proton and electron spinning around an atom circle, but it has also a nucleus in the middle. This nucleus part is very important first because it's called a mitochondria in your body. You have mitochondria cells all over you. That's the center membrane part. It's responsible for the energy that produces to the cell to make the protons, neutrons run around. For the cell to be alive, it produces 1.5 volts of electricity, believe it or not. It also excretes waste. It also eats. So it's a living being, but it's just a cell. Now, with that the mitochondria needs something for it to survive, which is called omega-3. Now, if you're not putting omega-3 oil over this mitochondria, which gives you 97% of your energy you need for your body to work. 97%. That's like the actual battery in your body.
So people aren't actually really getting that because that's a lot.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy how much you need for it, and that's not even.
Is that even a supplement? Can it be like a supplement, or obviously it's best to get it whole.
It is a supplement, but a lot of us neglect that supplement, so we don't have it in our body. Let me tell you the trick to it that they don't tell you. This is the tricky part. The oil that is omega-3, right? This is what's called alpha-linolenic acid. You need that because it has DHL or DHF in it. This is a substance we need for our body. But when you use omega-6 oils, this is your vegetable oils, your corn oils, this stuff that you get from restaurant foods that's fried. Believe it or not, it blocks your mitochondrial cell from getting the fish oil one, the omega-3. And so when you can't get no omega-3 to your cell, eventually the cell dies. This is what happens now. With this a toxicity build up to where we get this thing called free radicals. You hear this term free radicals in your body and toxic. Well, what toxic means is that an invader came in your body that is not agreeing with your body. And this only come once again to your body, it turns into oxygen and it splits across the proton and the electron. So the electrons start flying all over in your body now. And this is what's called a free radical. And believe it or not, when free radicals fly in your body, it actually make you act radical. You start getting, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. You get scared. You get nervousness. You feel depression because it's a replication of yourself. So by you not knowing that you're having free radicals floating around, when it finds another atom, it clings to it. And this is what's called a mutation. When a cell mutate, you get conditions called cancer. You understand? So by you not actually putting omega-3 fish oil there to coat that membrane, you actually cause the splitting of the proton and the neutron by eating fried chicken and burgers, all this stuff that wasn't cooked. The only only oil you could use is olive oil. Olive oil is the same consistency as the omega-3 fatty oil, and it complements it. As a matter of fact, they work together. But if you use any other oil, it's not going to work. So, you got flaxseed oil. There's a few other ones, sunflower oil, that has omega-3 in it. Just like it's in cod, salmon, a few fishes, including sardine. If you look at the can, it says omega-3. Those is decent amounts of omega-3, but the body itself needs 1,000 milligrams per day.
Wow.
When you're talking about that, you got a recommended daily allowance of vitamins you need daily. You got your RDA and your RDI. It's very important for us to notice because a lot of us is running around deficient in vitamins, having problems, and we don't know what's the cause of it.
Yeah.
So, back to homeostasis. When we say homeostasis is when we check all your levels and they all in this proper order. So homeostasis now falls apart when you become a vitamin deficient. You understand what I'm saying? When homeostasis happens, your body cannot self-heal. You see, why homeostasis is important is because when all your fluids is in line, you could get AIDS, you could get cancer, but your body will defeat it. It's when you're deficient in something, it cannot adapt and defend itself to beat it. You following me?
Yeah, for real.
So what's going on here is that the cereals we eat, the food in urban places, they don't give you the right vitamins and nutrients that you need to sustain this daily RDA that we need. It's deficient in it. So now this is why it's important. When you're more in the urban ghetto area, you're going to eat cheap, you're going to eat fast. And that's the condition that actually cause where you have a deficiency with the first and simplest signs of this free radical split. Because once your free radical split, this is what's called oxidation occur. Look at it like when you cut an apple and the apple turned brown. After a while, you see it change. That's oxidization taking place on the apple because you broke some atoms and split them off. It's the same thing occurring in your arteries when you have toxicity, free radicals. Your insides is turning into stones, plaque, hardening now. And so as it starts to take this course, you get arthritis is the first sign of it. That's what you get first, arthritis. Once arthritis keep going on, it turns to rheumatism. Then it turns to diabetes. Then it turns to Parkinson's disease. Then it turns to thyroid. And then it attacks your heart and you get a heart attack and it becomes cancer too. So this one situation of oxidization turns into multiple stages that our medical system categorize them at the stage. They don't tell you it's one symptom, but it took on different stages. They're going to say, oh, you got diabetes. So now you think it's diabetes, look like it's in a box and isolated. Well, let me tweak the diabetes and I could fix the problem. But you see, it's not the diabetes. Diabetes is the
effect from a cause. The cause was you was deficient in a vitamin. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Once
Yeah.
the deficiencies start, you get all these cancer,
Side
you get
effects.
diabetes. As
Mhm.
long as you keep the body in a homeostasis state of being, the body could fight off bacteria, germs, and all these problems that's going to lead to it. So we just broke down toxicity and free radicals, how it causes oxidization. Now,
So
you
before
have
we go, oh, sorry, but before we go further, I just want, there's a question up here from Ibrahim. Thank you for commenting.
Thank
She
you.
asked, what medication is good for high blood pressure?
medication. Well, you know, what I would recommend for her high blood pressure then is for her to get herself CoQ10, CoQ10, and get you some fish oil and some vitamin A, or what we call a multivitamin that has vitamin A, C, D, and E in it. Because most of the time when you having high blood pressure, this is through your kidney. Your kidney controls your blood pressure. So it could be the start of something going on within your body. So what I would do, I would first make sure that your body is performing naturally on its own and you're not deficient in a vitamin that is causing sometime you could say your potassium pump or your kidney to work extra hard. So what I would recommend is for you to give yourself back energy. CoQ10, it works on the cellular level first, which is going to feed the mitochondria, which will give you back, say, the power you need for your pressure not to go up. Whatever is happening inside of your body is actually putting too much wear and tear on your energy. And so this is when you get a blood pressure boost from the kidney. So what I would tell you to do, get you some omega-3 fish oil, get you some CoQ10 and a multivitamin. Once you do that, in a couple days, your body will start to go back to a regular state and the blood pressure will go down. Now, on top of that, I would recommend some herbs for you to drink, for you to make like into a concoction or tea. And the plants I would recommend for you is this one called Biden Pelosis. Here we call it Spanish needle. You would mix that with this one called velvet leaf plant. When you put those two together, you got a great antioxidant that is great for the liver to help you reproduce back whatever nutrients you're deficient in. And that will help you to get rid of the blood pressure permanently. You understand?
Wow. That's amazing.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. I hope that
You take
wrote
these
those
advice.
down.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be in the replay and on YouTube.
Right.
So you guys can check that out. But thank you for
Answering that
that.
question.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah. Wow.
But
So
that's good.
back to what you were saying about the body before I interrupted.
Yeah, let's just get into it, because once you realize that the deficient, your body is only subject to diseases, any type of disorder, because it's deficient with something. You would go out your way to seek these vitamins and minerals. And the first thing that I would want to bring to everybody's attention right now is we've been bombarded. We are under attack as human beings. I'm going to tell you out the gate. And these attacks is not from foreigners, it's from our own government. First of all, I have to bring to your attention, you got the chemtrail thing going on. Chemtrails has been spraying heavy metals in the air lately. We're inhaling it. You also have companies that is actually paid through corporate industries, such as Monsanto's with the glucosite or whatever they call it. And you have a lot of what we call biosoil or bio sludge that's being put into fertilizer, which is poured back on the land of farmers for free by the government, which is toxic with pharmaceutical drugs, from narcotics to a whole bunch of toxic things that actually subject the actual plants that you put in the ground to the drugs, and they're coming back in your system in the herbs, in the plants. So you have to be aware of heavy metal poisoning and the toxicity, not just in the air, not just in the water, but in the environment and in the ground. Once you realize that, you get a situation where now your body is in a constant state of detoxing itself. This is running full speed in 2021 right now. It's in the air first. You have to subject the body to a condition where your immune system is busy fighting off what's in the air, which is heavy metal and the toxicants. You know it because autism is on the rise. Autism is a heavy metal poison and mercury. Once you realize all these is in the air, that's why you don't see chemtrail spraying no more. They finish, and the end result is COVID because your own body is already fighting off so many things with the. Wait, let me explain to you. When your white blood cells when you get a toxic level buildup, your white blood cells sends out suppressor cells and natural killer cells to attack this. This means your mitochondria cells or 70% of your energy is going to be taken from you talking and moving and walking to fight off this infection that's going on in your body. You wouldn't know it at first because it's just maybe one or two things, but on a constant basis, somebody sneeze on you and you're going to get sick because your immune system or your defense system is busy cleansing your body through pushing out white blood cells. Once you start pushing out white blood cells, you got T cells in there and different type of cells that start doing where you become toxic. It's like your body now has to neutralize toxicity by like an acid come over it and break it down, which make it more toxic. Then it goes through your lungs.
You become acidic instead of
yes,
alkaline.
That's why a lot of people get into that acidic state. But now it's got phase 1 and phase 2 detoxing going on in your liver and your lungs. And so if one of these phases don't work, the stuff that they broke down, which is more toxic, starts flowing through your body and sometimes go to your brain. And this is where you get Alzheimer's disease, autism, dementia. This is all heavy metal poisoning from that first attack that they put on us. That's why all these things is on the rise. So once you realize that your body is in constant detox or a lot of energy is being run, you have to put up some second line of defense so that if flu come onto you, any type of sickness come onto you, your body have a second line of defense. It won't use your immediate energy to tend to these things that when now COVID come or a flu come, you're subject to it because your body is not in the right state. Do you understand what I'm saying so far? So on that note then, when you have this action going on, we're in detox. And trust me when I say, if you look into toxicity from air to the soil, and then the fertilizer and the pesticide, it's in the toys, it's in the clothes we wear. God knows what China done did to us if Trump ain't take us out of there for a minute. It could be in our makeup, our soap. This was an attack on our body, and the outcome is America is more subject to these diseases such as COVID because of the toxic level that's built up in all of us or the fight that's taking place in our body. So I would send everybody to go get a heavy metal load test. This tests your body for any type of heavy metal. One thing, heavy metal in your body lowers people IQ. They don't want us to be on the level they're on or have the intelligence we're supposed to. So heavy metal is always in the urban hood. That's why urban kids especially have a very low IQ. I don't tell them the kid don't have no intelligence. I tell them, take your child, go get a heavy metal test. It's not like that. And you will see that when they come back, they're full of mercury, full of cadmium, full of lead. You understand?
How do you take that out of the child?
Exactly. That's what my question was.
Okay, it's the process. You wouldn't believe it. You know why they don't want to put this on media? It's only one process that could take heavy metal out of you. You only accumulate heavy metal in your gut, your stomach. You accumulate it a little bit in your liver and kidney, which they're going to push it into your stomach, and in your brain, in your head. That's why you get Alzheimer's and dementia and autism. They come from it in your brain. So what winds up happening, you need one substance only, which is fiber. Fiber is the binding agent. It binds heavy metal. When you're not actually able to detox your body through phase 1 and phase 2 conjugation of your toxicness in your body, it's going to build up in your stomach, in your gut. But what happens is we don't make enough enzymes, because once it builds up in your gut, you're going to urine it out and feces it out. But it doesn't stick now without fiber. So if you don't have a high fiber diet to grab the heavy metals, it keeps circulating and getting toxic and more toxic till it causes cancer in your body, or you have an autoimmune disease attack. It's just your body is fighting off, throwing out white blood cells and fighting it off. But then your body itself is attacking the toxicity that's coming back. So you get an autoimmune system disease going on.
So and your body is getting jumped.
Good way.
Repeat that?
I said your body is basically getting jumped. It's trying to fight one thing and then it's getting beat up in the head with another thing.
That's a beautiful way to put it. That's exactly what's taking place right now in our body.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
You understand? And so our best bet to get rid of this is to understand and be educated on how the body works. And that's why I said, COVID is not a problem. It's that our deficiency make it a problem. Look at China. China's not in a bad situation right now. They're not all in a pandemic state like us. COVID is being blown up and say, I'm not saying it's not doing this thing, but actually how we're subject to it is like no other country is subject to it, because we're deficient. Our deficiency is their victory. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So by doing this, only one thing could help us. First of all, we have to be educated on what vitamins is.
Right.
Because you think you could go buy a supplement and you got vitamins. Or you think you buy some cereal that says fortified or something that says
orange juice.
Yeah. So where do we get the real stuff?
Yeah.
The only vitamins come from is plants. Plants, they tell you plants, fruits, and vegetables. It's even in animals. Vitamin A, so forth, E is in, but this is how it breaks down so you get full understanding. Let me take you through a quick history of how they deceive us and got us.
History.
Thank you.
Okay, so what happens now? The body can only assimilate plant vitamins. Vitamins that come from vegetables, we gotta assess that, because not all vegetables.
Hold on, because I thought that everybody was saying, because a lot of people that get on vegans and say, "Oh, you can't get your vitamins from plants and stuff. You have to get it from the meat."
Well, don't the animals get it from the plants? And that's how we're actually getting the same thing. So they're doing the job for the humans.
Those people that talk like that, you telling them to move away from you with that foolishness.
These are medical doctors, people who are practicing.
Let's hear him. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen. A lot of people was deceived. The whole world is deceived. I'm trying to wake everybody up. So you get everybody who got their version of the story, but this has not been proven, or they can't prove it. What I'm saying is you could prove this on yourself. When we look at vitamins, right, the vitamins has to be water soluble, first of all. Your body don't have chemicals to break down a lot of things. So you only could use certain vitamins. So when you're talking about water soluble vitamins that complement the body, you take it and your body's going to break it down. That's something that's going to sit in there for 2-3 days. You probably urinate it out before it goes. You're talking water soluble. When you put heat to it, it evaporates. So we got to talk about teas then, and why there's no vitamins in teas and minerals. You understand? So now, once you realize that you can't really heat up vitamins, you can't. Some vitamins like niacin is sensitive to light, and so some of them is deficient by the time they get from the storage place to the supermarket to your table. It got 30% of the vitamins that it says it has. You have to take this into account. So Now we get our vitamins from plants. It's called phytochemicals. That's what the body uses. Phytochemicals is natural, but the pharmaceutical industry took over that to make it into medicine. You understand, and to give it to us and to sell it to us. And then we get what's called, I call it provitamins, which is synthetic form of a vitamin or an enzyme that when it mixes with one of your protein, it makes a vitamin in your body. It's not a real vitamin. It's a big difference. Because when you're talking viruses and bacteria, you're talking more mathematical equations now that actually, when we kill a virus, like say how you hear how, you know, the whole America is over what is it, when you get it'll come to me in a second, antibiotics. We over antibiotics.
Antibiotics? Yeah.
Yeah, don't work on us no more because they done tried every variation. Our body's immune to it. So that's why they have to do all this stuff to try to make this RNA stuff, because this is a big thing in the science world that soon they can't do anything to help us because our body's already made every combination of antibiotics out there, and in doing so, we make ourselves immune to it every time we do it. So it's not in their favor to do it. So the only other thing that could actually do the same thing as antibiotic is phytochemicals, plants. And so plants is even better because they don't have just a vitamin A in it or vitamin C. They're a complex compound. So it has vitamin A, vitamin C. So you have many warriors to fight with you when you give them an extract or a tincture is in reference to like just taking a pill that is just number 1, 2, 3, 4. The virus go away for a second, but it always mutates and come back, and it beats the 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, get out the way, I'm back. But now with the plant one, it's too many different complexes in it. So you'll have your alkaloids, you have your phenol, your spinonins. These are different bases that helps to from anti-inflammatory to antibacterial, antifungal. That is a defense system to make sure the virus don't come back and it smashes them. So they work permanently. Those other ones is not going to work for long. So on that note now, your body's only complemented by phytochemicals, plant-based. Our ancestors, if you look at them, they had canisters, or we look in what we find in artifacts in the caves from Egypt to the Bible. You only hear them crushing up. You didn't hear them say they got zucchinis and broccoli. You don't hear that. You don't see that in the artifact. You see basil powder in it because we took the plants and we crushed them up. We crushed the leaves up, dried it out. We crushed the stems up. We crushed the root up. Then we'll make it into a flour and then make it into a bread. You always see them eating some funny pita bread or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what they use. They never used what we use today, and we didn't have those for vegetables. Vegetables is made by Jesuits, and it's not real. Anything with starch is man-made. That's the compound that binds them together, which when we get into GMO, you understand how GMO.
And so now a lot of people are gluten-free. They can't do gluten anymore.
Right.
Exactly. That's a very important thing to understand because those was the tricks that they're using. Just like refined foods, I was telling them before, anytime you refine a product, which is when you take a whole anything, a root or a wheat, barley, a seed, and you crush it into a powder, it loses all its vitamins except for vitamin E. All the rest of the vitamins get stripped from it, and the actual process make the grain or powder now toxic. So flour is toxic. Anything that's ground up is toxic. You would want the whole grain, the whole. That's why you always hear whole got all the vitamins in it. But when you get from like the oats with the little flaky powder, it don't have nothing in it. If it does, they fortified it. And the fortification process is not 100. You're probably getting 10% of what they said is on that fortification. You understand?
So once you realize anything that's grounded up is stripped of its vitamins and is fortified, that's why you see cereals is all fortified. Everything in America is basically fortified. Now, what happens is, one, you put yourself out of homeostasis when you eat these bread, use the flour, the spaghetti, all these things. Now, actually, your body have to do work to take that out your body. It didn't gain nothing from it. You just gave it work to do. So it takes away your vitamin A. It takes away your vitamin C just to break that down. So now you're going to be deficient in vitamin from eating food.
Right.
You would think the food going to give you something, but it don't. If it's not real food, it's going to take away from you and put you in a bad homeostasis where you get this thing called atherosclerosis going on, which is hardening of your arteries. You understand what I'm saying? This is what happens to all Americans, but we don't know it until it becomes noticeable as a disease, disorder, discomfort, inflammation is its first sign. You understand?
I just feel like it's very hard for us Americans because our drug is our food, and it's hard for people to give it up and make decisions like this and say
and to eat without taste, and stuff like that. I mean, people are losing their taste now, and they're like, "Oh my God, I have." The C word.
And exactly. And that's how they feel. And some people are like, oh, well, like they rather just die than to make a change.
Especially give up their
food. Like this. Right. It doesn't go like that. I'm going to give you a good example. This is going to make people ship in or ship out. This is what's going on. It's not every human being, like I was telling you before. When I acquired my soul, it was a scary journey. Everything that we see in scary movies is God. Everything we see in horror shows and the bad things is God. So we was taught to be afraid of ourselves. We're afraid to be alone. We are afraid to experience life. We want to group up, socialize, and just be happy. So you get people here that is soulless. That's very important and want company. Not everybody is like that though. So this is what you got. A world where some people is going up and then other people is pulling them back down to keep them down. It's up to the person to decide where they be, because this is the saying, out of all that's come, only 130 or 144,000 will be chosen. It's the one who chose themselves. And I'm going to tell you what happens, how God usually do it. He allow you to have fun with your food until the disease hits you. Once the disease hits you, you got the birth of the healer. Because the first thing they want to do is learn to heal themselves.
Right.
You go to the doctor, you get side effects more than anything else. And this is when you're on the downhill journey and you can't come back. So everybody at that point in their life, you could say between their 24 to 35 feel like that I could do whatever they want. Yes, you can.
Right.
Your homeostasis level is excellent. But you see, what you eat today dictates what you're going to be tomorrow.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So you can enjoy yourself now, but you're going to pay later.
Right.
Or you could be a conscious eater and get the message. Because I'm not telling you nothing that your intuition hasn't told everybody here already. Everybody knows.
Right.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Understand what I'm saying? So look at your intuition.
No, I said we just enjoy to self-sabotage.
Exactly.
Well, it's two things
Not
we
all
love.
of us, but
We love pleasure. One thing is, if it's not pleasurable to us, it's not good. So even if a vitamin was bad, they would have to finesse it up and make it pleasurable that you will take it. And so we ourselves don't realize, like, you have night and day. Some people prefer the daytime and go in at night, and the vice versa. Some people sleep all day and come out at night. So you got to realize life is a balance. It's not about having one way or making it one thing. And we can't accept the 4 seasons. We can't accept ourselves. We all change. Nobody stays the same. That's what the 4 seasons show you. You see the same tree, the leaves drop off, and then they come back. So
Right.
every day is a new day for us to reinvent ourselves, to learn something. But a lot of us can't face our own self. We wear a mask. We hide from the truth. And when we do that, we actually believe these masks we wear and we become it until a disease hit us.
Right. And
You
like you
understand?
said, like usually after you go through something that like your health,
That's when
and you
you
don't
make a
get the results that you want, that's when you go and start healing yourself. I know another woman who had cancer, and she didn't want to do the Western medicine way, and she healed herself through herbal medicine.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of people, the reason why people even know about this is because they personally went through it, like
through
yourself.
that journey.
And it's like, yeah, it is like a personal acceptance, and so that's
It's an
a personal knowing.
One thing happens that we fail to realize. You remember when you was young, you probably like hot dogs. By the time you turn 20, you're like, no, I don't like hot dogs anymore. I like burgers.
Yeah.
By the time you turn 35, you're like, I can't eat no more burgers. I'm eating fish. Listen, we all go through a stage of evolution. We could say this today, but tomorrow we're going to say something else. We first have to realize that nothing is fixed, and the knowledge is the best thing you could have to navigate here, because it's one thing when you choose and to say, no, this is what I want to do. But when you're ignorant to it, that makes something else. You know, you could be falling off the side of the cliff and don't know you're walking over the cliff.
Right.
You understand? So it's the information to update the system now that you know the consequences of your action is your choice. But if you ignorant to how the body works, what is real food and what's not, this gives you the opportunity to understand. If you have inflammation, if you have diabetes, you could change it. Because one thing the doctor is not going to do is tell you the truth, which is change your eating habits.
Right.
Let me tell you. Let me show you over here.
They do. Yeah,
And
they
then
do say that sometimes.
People don't listen.
Right.
Because they go, I'll take this medication and it's fine.
Right.
Over here is my shelf. Let me see if I can show you. You see that shelf over there with all the different things? Those is all plant extracts. I make extracts. Those are all different type of plants, from anti-inflammatory to actually ones that do to make women.
Whoa.
Oh.
Okay, he'll probably come right back in, but wow.
We just lost him, but make sure you guys are hitting the like, subscribe, and share, and all that stuff while we...